Yo, Novatos, thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a couple tips on how to improve your Instagram game. You know what I'm saying? Get you to improve your photo taking abilities on your motorcycle, on your bike. Now, I recorded this video on the bike, but it's just one of those things. It just feels like the video just is a little bit too long, so I'm gonna just go ahead and use that footage and then use this footage just to kind of trim it down, trim the fat, cut the fat.
Oh yeah, we gotta trim some of the fat around here.
What do you mean by trim the fat?
And give you guys something that's more fine and detailed. But anyways, let's get in with the topic of today's video. There's I believe there's, you know, I'd say there's three main improvements that you can do to improve your Instagram game. Would be lighting would be number one, depending on the time of day. Typically the magic hour, the golden hour, it's a window of 20 minutes right before the sunset. You get that golden hour, that magic hour right before the sunset. You get a nice texture of the clouds, you know, up against the sun coming down. It's the angle thing. You know what, I'm not gonna get too detailed on that. And then you also have the number two improvement, or the number two tip that I would have for you guys would be the location of where you're shooting. Depending on what you're thinking of, you know, depending on colors or black and white. Now I'm not gonna get super detailed on this because I could go on for hours when it comes to all this stuff, but I'm just gonna try to get it narrowed down to, you know, the location. The location, it just depends on what you're trying to, you know, improve. There's a lot of storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling when it comes to photography. You know, it's what they say. It's you could tell, you could say 1,000 words in a picture or something like that. Or a picture says 1,000 words. So you could, you know, depending on what you're looking at and the location of it. I mean, we're talking about the beach side. Maybe it's, you know, the city, street photography. Maybe it's landscaping. You know, my specialty, what I like doing. You know, you could include that in the overall image. You can include the world in the image with your subject being the motorcycle, or you could, you know, be super up and close personal with the bike. But that'd be my reason number, or that'd be my third tip. Okay, with you know, the time of the day, the sunlight, the lighting being one. The number two, the location, depending on where you're at. Maybe you're on, you know, desert side, maybe you're on rural side, maybe you're in the suburbs. You know, it all depends on what your scenery or where you're at. And reason number three would be just composition of the shot. That's, you know, that'd be just as important as one and two. The composition of the shot, your subject, you know, the thirds on the gradient. If you're looking at your phone, I would suggest you turning on that grid lines on your phone. And that's just gonna give you an assistance to help you line up the shot perfectly. There's just something about when you're looking at the surroundings, when you're looking at you know, the landscape. You wanna, if you're, you know, like I said, if you're planning on including the world around the motorcycle, the subject, if you're thinking about doing that, then you want to include and have a nice balance. So that's what that means. It's just having it kind of flow with the full frame of the image. It just depends on the lines. It depends on the balance, the texture, like, you know, the trees. Maybe it's a brick wall, or you know, just something. Maybe, you know, there's a texture to the whole image, and there's also a balance. I mean, this is just stuff to kind of improve it. I'm not, you know, trying to give you guys a full-on you know, lecture or a full-on you know, video on photography, but, you know, just, you know, something for you guys to kind of consider the next time you guys are taking photos of your bike. You know, to try to get in there, or try to, you know, get low. A lot of the times I see images and it's just one of those things where it's something that you see every day. You know, if you're standing, you know, at my height, I'm, you know, 5'7" or 6 feet, and you're looking down on a bike, you see that every day. There's nothing special about it. But if you just, you know, tweak the angle, the composition, you tweaked it, like you got down low, you get up close, you know, it's just something that you typically don't see every day. It just makes stuff more interesting. It gives it a little bit of spice, a little bit of taste.
That's what she said.
You know, depending on what angle you're looking at. And the whole thing with the balancing, you know, using your surroundings, a tree, maybe it's a rock, maybe it's, you know, it's just something that gives that gives the overall image a nice balance. And that'd be, you know, my third tip would be, you know, just take images of something that you just don't see every day. And that's, like I said, you want to get in there, you want to get low, you want to get crazy with some of your angles. You know, there's a lot of stuff still there, but those would be my 3 tips to improve your Instagram game, to improve your photos. There's also, you know, software, there's also apps that you can use that, you know, that gives you that bokeh effect on the background. And it really narrows the focus on the subject when you're doing that kind of you know, editing. When you do that kind of editing, it just really draws the eye to the subject. But you know, that's for a different video. All right, with that being said, those minor tips, those, you know, minor 3 tips, maybe 4, that would improve the quality of your images by a lot, by, you know, leaps and bounds. You know, it's gonna be a difference of night and day once you just start, you know, thinking a little bit more, you know, about the angles and everything, and the location, the light, everything else when you're taking the images. You guys go ahead and leave your comments down below. You know, go on the Facebook group, post your images of your bike. You know, like I mentioned in the other video, I like seeing all your guys' builds. I like seeing all the photos. And you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.